Voila! Everything takes longer than you think it will. I'm gonna let this sit and go eat a snack. Getting closer! Just so you don't think I'm crazy. You might anyway. So far, my van build out has cost me. Project for today is rust prevention. So there are a few different things that I want to get done before I start that process, including getting this out. And then I'd like to get these out. I'm gonna get rid of that little stuff, and then we're gonna start the rust prevention treatment on my van. Something I'm learning. Everything takes longer than you think it will. So as I'm trying to take this partition out, I have learned a few things that you should probably know. So these have been taken out kind of all around the partition, right? And there's a bunch of them. So now I'm moving on to the more difficult part. So there are two of these, one on the left, one on the right. This is actually a rivet in here. So I'm gonna have to go in and actually drill this rivet out because it's definitely attached to the wall. Okay, so I did get the other rivet out. What I've been doing is starting with a small drill bit and then moving to a big one, and it popped right out, but it took a while. I did put a bolt back in the top so that it doesn't want to pop out and fall over on me. Voila! Look at that. Okay, that took me like a quarter of the time as the last one, so. And then we've got these guys, which I actually cannot figure out what size this is. I've been trying to use a T30. It's not working, so it might be a T40. All right, trying the T40. Hopefully this is the one. I think we are in business. No, 40 is the biggest.
Oh.
And it's not even locking in there.
Yeah.
That's the issue. Okay, so I went and got the T40 because the T30 was too small and it fit perfect in the left one, but on one of them T30 was too small, so we just lined it up in the grooves. I had it lined up and Jake hammered it in, so it's pretty good in there. It's pretty solid, so we're gonna put the drill on it and try to get it out that way. You ready? So weird. So now that we have the partition out, I am going to remove the rest of the hardware, which isn't much, but now I have that T40 so I can get the rest of it out. So this van was used for cargo before I got it, and as you can see, there is quite a lot of exposed metal, really. I'm going to vacuum all of these metal shards that I just put everywhere from drilling into that metal, because I don't want any of that getting somewhere and rusting out. And then I'm just gonna wipe everything out with a mild soap and a damp sponge and make sure everything's really clean so that I can start using some steel wool to get it ready for the primer.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope.
Guess what just came as I'm cleaning the floor? One of the fans. How exciting is that? Everything is very clean. I did wipe down some of the walls where some of the shelves went. It was pretty dirty. I'm going to leave the sliding door and these back doors open for, I don't know, 10-15 minutes and make sure everything here is super dry. And then I am going to hit all of the exposed metal and the paint around it with some steel wool. So as I've been using the steel wool, I've noticed two things. There are 4 holes in my floor. Actually, there might be more than that. Either way, there are holes in my floor that I'm going to seal along with this process. And because of the shelves that were in here and the number of screws that were used to put those shelves in, there are holes that look like this. Since I'm going to be running wires and putting things up, some of these screws, well, the screws aren't there anymore, but some of these holes where the screws were are really sharp. So I'm just gonna grab a file and file those down as well. Yeah. Now I'm gonna go grab a bucket of water and wipe everything down and wipe everything out. I don't want steel wool or metal shavings anywhere in my van. So I'm just gonna make sure that it's super clean again, let it dry really well, and then I will be putting the primer down. This is a great time to practice your left hand skills. All right. So I just got done finishing all the priming. It took me like 2.5 cans, but I had a lot. I think I would rather use like a paintbrush if I had just larger areas or less areas. But it's just a bunch of scratches and the spray paint worked great. So I'm gonna let this sit and go eat a snack and then come back and actually paint the protective enamel down. Getting closer. Yesterday I put all the primer on, and although it did say that the primer is ready in like 1 to 2 hours, I just let it dry all night. So today I'm gonna be putting on the protective enamel, and then once I get this on everything, I think I'm good to go with the rust prevention. So let's get painting. So the brush that I picked up is really shitty. So I'm gonna go get a better quality brush. Don't make this mistake. Just get a high quality brush before you start painting. Got my paintbrush.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of home.
So today what I'm gonna do, since this is all dried, is I am going to fill in the 4 or 6 holes that are running all the way through my floor. The last owner left this sealant. It seems like super heavy duty. I'm just gonna use what he left for me. Just so you don't think I'm crazy. You might anyway. I can a little bit read what this thing is. It is a 3M fire barrier sealant. Easy to handle formulation, bonds to concrete, metal, wool, and cable jacketing. Dry as a firm rubber-like solid. I think it'll work. That sealant actually worked out really well. It was more of a putty consistency. So I actually took a little tool and I packed the holes. This is what it looks like right now. Once it dries, it'll be like a hard rubber. And then I'm just gonna top it with some lap sealant and call it good. So the rust prevention process is over and the partition is out, and that feels really, really good. So thank you for tuning in and watching my video, and make sure to hit subscribe if you want to not miss a piece of this journey. Also, at the end of each video, I will be sharing how much my van build has cost me. So far, my van build out has cost me $78.54.